I read Divergent by Veronica Roth. It was published April 25th, 2011, and its genre was science fiction. Divergent is about Triss and Tobias, who fight the members of Dauntless and Hereditude throughout the book. Triss takes multiple series of tests to become a member of Dauntless, because she was originally born in abnegation. While she goes on, she discovers that Dauntless, it's really kind of like its own group. It's run by Hereditude, and it's run by people that are trying to stop people from knowing what's outside the walls. The first question I'm answering is, how are male and female roles defined? And in the book, to become a member of Dauntless, you have to go through like a series of like tests and stuff that included like fighting, and they had boys and girls, or male and females, equally fight. But what they had specifically the girls do was find the weakness of the males and see where exactly they were the weakest, so that the female may come in and overpower. In a sense, this book really defines female power. And Triss, which is like the main character, what she used was her bony elbows to hit guys' guts or stomachs or whatever. And she would get like a couple hits in, and it would like hurt the guy, but it wasn't like majorly big. But what made her specifically different from others was that throughout the book, she was a lot less fearful than others. Like, she didn't have as much fears as she was the first to jump off a building voluntarily, which was one of the first tests to get into the group. And she was the one who faced her fears and trying to get rid of them. She didn't want her fears to be present in everything she did. And like other men in the book, like they didn't really like work to get over their fears. They kind of just left them alone. And they would just the males would just kind of wait until someone else came in and did it for them, and they would just be kind of scared to do it. But then Triss would overpower them, and they would be less, let's say in the book, the girls were a lot less cowardice than the guys. The next question I answered was, what does the work say about a woman's creativity? And towards the end of the book, Triss had to figure out a way to go save Tobias. She had to figure out a way to go save him, and the way that she did that was that she went with her dad and Marcus, which is Tobias's dad, and Caleb, to go through all the people that are under the serum, because all the Dauntless members are under a serum that is making them attack the abnegation sector, the official members of abnegation. And she figured out a way to actually go and save him. And throughout the whole book, she lost a lot of lives. She lost the life of her best friend Will, and she also went through the struggle of losing her own mom. Her mom sacrificed herself for Triss, to let Triss live. And she also goes on to lose her dad, and because he was fighting one of the Dauntless members, because he wanted her to go save Tobias. And she also figured out a way to actually get Tobias out of the serum that he was actually in, because he was acting like a robot and like trying to kill her. And I have a quote that really explains the woman's creativity, and also explains how much how powerful the woman's role in this book, especially the main characters, Triss's role throughout the book is really strong. And it says, I run at him, grabbing his wrists. I feel the muscles shift as he pinches the trigger and duck my head just in time. The bullet hits the wall behind me. Gasping, I kick him in the ribs and twist his wrist to the side as hard as I can. He drops the gun. So in that quote, she really shows like how much creativity she uses to try to get the gun from Tobias, especially him being in like full attack mode and like not feeling sorry for anything, especially being that Tobias is like one of her really good friends. And it just goes to show the power that a woman has throughout this book. And she finally got him out of the serum by like talking him through and not like actually killing him through the whole book or through that part. And they had planned to go to the Amnity sector, and it was really her plan to get out of all the problems that they ended up having through the end of the book. There really isn't a specific way to read your book. You can read it however you want. But I think one thing we really learned from doing this project is that if you really concentrate on one aspect of reading, like feminist criticism or the queer theory or something like that, if you really focus on one, you'll find that all books have a little bit of everything. The feminist criticism, how a male is portrayed compared to a female. Some books might have, a female portrayed better than a male or a male portrayed better than a female. It does help you think of how a book can be different from others, and it really makes you open your mind to different kinds of books that you may not like, but because of your curiosity towards that subject, you may like the book.